Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and as you can see behind me, we're going to be automating our wither skeleton skull production, so I hope you guys are ready. So today we're going to try and get ourselves the skeletons automated. We're going to try and automate the skeletons, wither skeletons, the best we can. And I think the best way to automate the wither skeletons is going to probably be the Killer Joe. So the Killer Joe can actually hold our sword. So we can basically tell this thing attacks nearby creatures when supplied with a sword and nutrient distillation. So there's two things we have to do. We have to first make the Killer Joe, which is going to require a Franken zombie. The Franken zombie comes from a soul binder, but also you also need a Z-Logic controller, which comes from a slice and splice. So we need to make a slice and splice, and then to make nutrient distillation, we're going to need a vat. So both of these require us to make the machine chassis. I've already made the main machine frame. So really all we have to do is come over here and yeah, we have some fuse cores being made. I went ahead and in preparation made a few different things and got them ready. Of course, I've also moved my machines, and I now have everything running off of Botania power for right now. So we're still using Botania power. And honestly, if we needed more, I would make more endo flames and set up more automation for this, because I think this is working really, really well. It's even powering everything. And if we really wanted to, we could put an augment on these two and it would remove the lasers, but I kind of like the look of the lasers, to be honest. And it just kind of goes underneath everything. So all this is powered by that. All right, so to get started, I guess we're going to go ahead. I'll go ahead and remove this for now. We need to get this in. We'll place that. And then, of course, I'll place this in the chest. I have it set up so this will be our export chest, and these will be your import chests for both situations here. And, of course, we do need our quartz ground up. So I'm grinding up as much quartz as possible, because it's going to be very, very useful later on. Also, I went ahead and got over here some energized bimetal gears. Those are going to be very useful as well. I also upgraded my my sag mill to finally. So we have all of that done. We also have some dark steel I ended up making. We just need to go ahead and get these things made up. Let's see. We'll go ahead. There's one frame. That will let us make this guy, the vat. So the vat's going to need some iron and a couple of these guys, a furnace and some dark steel, and there we go. We'll get ourselves a vat. The vat's kind of an interesting thing in how it works. The vat can basically, if we take a look at what it's used for, we can see that the vat here can be supplied with a few different things, like nutrient distillation, or it's how it makes nutrient distillation, but we can supply it with like heads and mushrooms. Both of these things are EMCable, and it does tell you the percentage when they rolls over. So like heads are definitely 2 times more, and you see mushrooms are 1.5. Fermented spider eyes are even more, but if we keep looking, we'll end up finding what's the best. Fermented spider eyes are the best. But they're not EMCable, but mushrooms are EMCable. So we're going to probably go with that for producing our nutrient distillation. So to set that up, I'm probably just going to go right over here. And just like I've been doing with everything else, I'm just adding on to our setup along this edge. And, oh, I also got myself some Endurios. Oh, good thing we have flight. That would have killed us. Sometimes it teleports you, sometimes it doesn't. But don't eat the Endurios unless you're feeling lucky. All right, let's go ahead and get our lasers. So we have our energy lasers right here. And this is all I'm doing. I'm taking it, hooking it here. And at this point, I'm just extending these guys. Right? And that should give that power after we end up making a capacitor. So let's get a capacitor going. The capacitor is, of course, let's see, we need gold nuggies. And also I'm going to go ahead and work on making the tablet version of this today as well. That's going to be so much better once we get the tablet. So, what is it called? Let's see. Capacitor. Grains. I should just make a bunch of these by this point. So let's go ahead and throw that over into our setup, which is way over here. Where did you come from, Mr. Chicken? And then that'll process. When we come back, that'll be ready to go. We should be able to go ahead and supply this with water as well. I believe it's water and then everything else. When it comes to automatically placing water in, I don't know. There's not a sink, per se. There's not a user. Is there a pump? There is a pump from this mod and an electric pump. Both of these pumps are electric. And making this pump is probably going to be the easiest. This fluid pump. And this will definitely provide us with water, but it's going to be pretty slow. And yeah, it's going to be pretty slow. We might go with the electric pump. Actually, I don't know if we can even get into mechanism, to be honest. Alright. I just wanted to see if there was a way to make this automatic. And this is probably going to be the only way. Crafting components. It's going to be this one. Aluminum and iron and copper. Okay. So, aluminum, iron, copper. I'm about to break you, Nether Portal. You're getting pretty loud. Okay, and it would be this with some lapis. So perfect. That'll be components. And I think it was steel for this. Alright. Yeah, because I don't think there's a way to make this any faster. We might actually have some iron plates laying around. We do. We just don't have this. So 2 iron plates. And what else was it? 2 iron plates and a copper. It's actually not too bad. Not too bad at all. And we'll take this blueprint out. And remember, you can place this blueprint here. Very cool. And we should be able to place this in here and this. There we go. And we get ourselves a pump. Now this is how we're going to provide this thing with water. And I think these pipes actually are what we're going to use to pump this to. And we are going to need a laser again. I'm probably going to make more of these lasers. Yeah, more lasers because we're definitely going to need them. Alright, let's make an infinite water source. And we're going to use this pump. So, let's grab our water amulet. And probably some stone. Why not? So in this corner over here would probably be the best place for this. We'll just set up an infinite water stream. It might honestly be best if we do like a 2 wide here. That should work. Place the pump. I don't remember if it has to be down in the water or not. I don't think it does. I think it just recognizes it from right there. We'll have to see once we give it some power. Of course, the power goes on top. And we give it some water. Just like that. And we're just going to hook this thing up. So we'll hook into here. And I don't know if this is getting water or not. We'll find out. Okay, once we put the capacitor in, it might actually let us put water in. But still, I really hope that works. Because that is a pretty decent water supply. I think we have to activate it with a lever. as well. I think. Maybe? Wow, this has been a long time since I've messed around with this. Okay. Maybe not. Whoa, yeah, when you get on the Evertide Amulet and you're on water, yeah, it goes pretty crazy. Huh. I gotta remember how to use this thing. So, I basically forgot to turn this into an actual output. So this is an output. So now, when I put this back on, that should now start to fill this. There we go. Now, is it still working? I need a lever, right? It still needs a power. Yeah, so you still need a lever on it to power it on, basically. But there we go. Now we're giving this thing the power that it needs. And this thing is more than happy. I don't know if it actually needs these two actual water source blocks here, but still, that is infinite power, or infinite water for us. Which is so much better. Alright, so, after that is done, we need some heads. I'll just do zombie heads. And then we need mushrooms. Any kind, doesn't really matter. I'm just going to throw a stack right now into here to go ahead and get some nutrient distillation going. We could void the output tank. I'm not going to do that. We can also dump this one if we wanted to, if you want to refresh. But right now, this thing should be working perfectly fine. It's going to be using power, and it's going to convert that into nutrient distillation. We need to get that going as soon as possible, so we have some on demand whenever we start making this other machines. So, slice and splice. Let's go ahead and do that, because now we should have our machines ready to go. Also, I'll grab this glass while I'm here. Fused quartz. We'll need that too. And we can go ahead and make ourselves a slice and splice. This guy is also going to connect up with our soul binder. We're going to use these two machines with each other. So I'm actually going to set these right next to our nutrient distillation guy here. Makes sense to me. Place our soul binder here and that guy there. And of course, we got to hook these up the exact same way. We're using lasers. I know eventually this becomes like inefficient, where we don't really gain any more from this, but you know, it's what it is. I'm just linking all these things together. Everything's getting power here. Now this guy's going to take a long time when we start focusing on using it the proper way. But this guy also needs another capacitor. Oh boy, we got to make a capacitor. So while that's making the capacitors, I'm going to go ahead and make some shears. Right? A new pair of shears, not an old pair. But we also have to make an axe. So I'm thinking iron for the head. We could probably get away with wood. Let's take a look over here. We need to make a tinker's basic tool. And it has to be a tinker's axe. Actually, let's just make it out of cobblestone. Why not? So the whole thing will be out of cobblestone. Maybe. Well, yeah, the whole thing about a cobblestone will be super weak, only lasts a couple times. We don't need it too much right now. So we'll make an axe head, rod, and we also need a binding, I believe. Make that in the tool forge, just a regular old axe, just like this. And that should go in our slice and splice. It should. Now, how's this guy doing over here? We almost have... It's almost making it. I hope this doesn't, like, calculate the time required for all of these and then do that. Who knows? But still, this should fit in here. So I noticed some people in the server were complaining, going, oh, axes don't work, but it does if it's a tinker's axe. I know you can't really make any of the other axes, but this one should definitely work. As you can see, it fit right in there. Even though this has a 16 durability, which is not that great. Not that great at all. Alright, this should be definitely almost done. Look at that. Right along. So yeah, the more of the ender alternators that you have, it makes it go faster. For sure. For me, while I'm working on other things, I can just let this sit. I don't even really need that many more. And there we go. Perfect. But at least we'll be able to come back to those whenever we're ready. I just need to throw it inside here. This one already has one. Look at that. We already have some nutrient distillations right there for us. Okay. So, to move forward, we're working on the Killer Joe, right? So we need a Z logic. So we're going to need some solarium, zombie head, redstone, and some silicon. I think the silicon is in here. Yes. Silicon, redstone. Good old zombie head. And some of the solarium. And that's all you need. Once you get this, you'll just place like the redstone in there. The solarium, the head, it'll automatically know. And thus, it'll start to produce this. And you get this nasty, bloody mess as it's crushing that head and combining the things into it. Really, really gruesome looking. But, definitely what we have to get done. Alright, so, we're getting really close to having this guy automated. Oh, so I don't have to stand here and hit these guys. My sword will do the work for me. I'll get to stand back. And these guys will just generate EMC just for me. I can just hang out while we're working on other things. And I'll know that this is always being farmed while we're working on other stuff. So that way I always know that Wither Skeleton Skull heads are farmable from here. It's going to work out tremendously. Kind of leading into some weird progression lines, right? As we're kind of skidding away from here. I mean, right here is definitely one that we're working towards. Definitely getting this done. So we're making the Z-Logic controller right now. So once we get that, we're definitely going here. Now spawners, I still don't know why the spawners didn't accept. It's blacked out because I think we're supposed to craft them. They're not supposed to be in the world, but you know, something I can't really control, right? All right. That's done. Now we got to get a vial that has a zombie in it. Ooh. So how are we going to do that? Well, we probably need to make a place that's a little bit darker so some zombies can spawn. This will probably work. Just create sort of a dark area over here. When I leave, we're bound to have some spawn. So a vial. Soul vial? I know we have one. Or we had one. It's probably in this chest. No, I removed everything from these chests. I guess we're gonna have to make another one. So, soul vial. Let's go check. We get a zombie to spawn yet? We got chicken spawning. There we go. It's nice and dark, so they should definitely spawn. So I broke the torches down here, and looky there. Perfect. All right. So now that we have this guy, we should be able to use it to combine. Oh, there's where our salt vial went. Looky there. We didn't even have to make one. So Z-Logic controller here. As you can see, this is how this needs to be set up. So Z-Logic here, here. Gonna require some experience. We'll go ahead and give it to it, and this process is a lot quicker. Provided that we have the power, of course. It'll go a little bit slower when we run out of residual power. Which will probably happen around... Oh, we might actually get this whole thing completed. It's only going to require 100,000 RF. And this thing holds 100,000, so... yeah, we should be just fine. Look at there. Soul vial, and... we got ourselves our zombie. Which should have completed... this right here. It did. Nothing on the screen? Okay. Nothing on the screen. It still says it's not completed. It's just taking its time. There it goes. Uh-oh. We got a zombie horde on our hands. Yeah. Now's when I need to torch everything back up. So now it is time for us to make the Killer Joe. And there he is. In his beautiful glory. Now, the way the Killer Joe works, right, is we give this guy some nutrient distillation and a tool, and you can show the radius that this guy can work in, and it'll pretty much attack anything that's inside, and you hope that it'll be collected, right? So we just have to feed this the guy nutrient distillation. We could take this setup and move it over here, but for right now, I think there's ender tanks. Maybe there's not. Maybe it's just ender. Is ender tanks not in here? Is there a way to teleport items? We might just go with cables. I don't really see an ender tank. So when it comes to sending, we might have to use conduits and stuff to send stuff over. I really need to make some conduits. What is this? Ender generator. There's a generator here. I wonder if this works off of consumes Dew of the Void to generate power. Oh, Dew of the Void. I know what that is. So yeah. So right now we could probably just bucket it in until we get some cabling set up for this guy. But pretty much we should be able to give it our sword. I think you just put the sword in its inventory here. Like that. And it'll hold it. And it'll utilize it. So that's exactly what we want. And I believe it works through walls, so you don't need to have a crazy setup or anything. If I place this guy right here, I might need to place it one higher, but I give it my sword. We check the range. It should be able to attack anything that comes in this area. Now, I think I'm going to bring this up 2 blocks. And the reason I want to do that, I want to bring it up here, is because that range will probably get me killed if I'm not careful. I'll bring it up 1 more block, actually. I don't want this thing attacking me, which it can do. So, Dew of the Void. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take this. Let's get a couple buckets. And we'll just get this guy going. And just see how well this is going to work. Should hold 4 buckets. Or 2 buckets. Just 2 buckets? And look at that. It's already starting to farm these guys. And you'll see the drops reflected there. Now the drops should reflect here. Like the heads, you see? It's actually using that sword, and that sword is very specific. And I believe it should also upgrade in its level too, because it's just like a user utilizing this thing. Now see, if we do get into the range, we're going to take damage too. Yeah, we want to be out of that range. That's why I put it up so high. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's using too much of the nutrient distillation for this. And another good thing we could do, temporarily, is a tank. So we can just use an Ender IO tank for this. So we'll set up a tank over here. And we'll set this to pull. And that should fill up with nutrient distillation. And then whenever this is full, we'll have a 16 bucket buffer that's going to go for this guy. And so really, while we're working around here, this guy should be functioning just fine. Perfect. Oh, another thing, we might want to take some glass, for example. And we'll utilize glass for this. Let's go ahead and break this. And we'll place some glass here. Some solid blocks. Just make sure that we don't have anything coming through. And that should work just fine. And so we can access our chest still. And we should get everything in here. Yeah. I just want to make sure items don't pop out anywhere. The only thing I'm concerned about is items popping all over the place. So this should work. So I also had plans to get a few other things done for today's episode, and that is getting ourselves a tablet. Now for that, we are going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to need 4 dark matter blocks, right? And we're also need a diamond, and I think we have the redstone and glowstone in here. So when it comes to tablet, we need to focus on this. So let's go ahead and make a philosopher's stone. Even though I know we have one. This is going to make ourselves a tablet. Another transmutation table. I'm going to make a couple of these, actually, so we can place them throughout our base. But I do need one for this. So, let's go ahead and make blocks. Don't need that much dark matter. Just 4 blocks to make the tablet. Perfect. So now we have a transmutation tablet, which is really great. I'm going to take this, probably place one here. Should place them at the intersections, really. And place one over here. Perfect. Also want to check something while this is swiping. Is the level actually going up? It is. Okay. So good, good, good. So each swipe, or each kill, the levels are going up. We can still walk up here and get our experience too, because it is generating experience. Nice. And our heads, oh yeah. We're still generating some heads. Very, very cool. So eventually we're going to upgrade that thing. So that shouldn't be too much cause for concern, but we are going to upgrade that before long. So now that we got a tablet, there are some other things that we need. I would actually like to get into some more ProjectE, as there's some really cool things that are here that I would love to have. We have like a Lifestone and Mindstone, or the Lifestone. Lifestone's really great. We need 2 red matter. Overall, we're gonna need 4 red matter because I believe that the body stone and the soul stone and the body stone both use the matter. So let's get some matter. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 matter. And this is going to be great. We won't have to eat anymore. So we basically are putting ourselves near to creative mode. So we'll do this. What are we missing? We're missing something. So lapis. Okay. So we need a little bit of lapis. Let's try our tablet. Nice. Throw some lapis in. Get ourselves a soul stone. And then we'll get a body stone. We combine these 2 things together, gets us a life stone, which basically combines their 2 uses. And then while in your inventory, if you hit G, it turns it on. And basically, it should fit in a bobble slot. It's going to use basically EMC to refill your health bar. And it's also going to make sure if you take any heart damage, which, like, if I'm over here, see, it automatically uses EMC to refill the heart. It's insane. So this stone is very, very, very useful. Because now we don't have to worry about having food in our inventory, right? You're like, what's the point of Minecraft? Do I have to have food in your inventory? Well, I have no idea. You tell me. This one right here sucks nearby experience orbs into the Mind Stone, so it's like it holds experience for you. And yeah, that's the only other thing. We do have some other rings and stuff that I would like to get into. But I don't want to have a whole inventory full of this stuff. But as we start to get more and more EMC, we're going to be able to do more and more things. I still think I'm going to continue with this pick. Even though later on, using these other dark matter picks and stuff like that, which I don't know if you can even make. Okay, so you can still make the dark matter tools. But a lot of the tools seem to be gone, if you don't notice. Really, all there is the pick. We don't have the guitar or anything else that I'm seeing here. It looks like a lot of the really OP fighting items are definitely gone. Minus this thing. This thing can just destroy the Gaia Guardian. I mean, straight up destroy the Guardian. Guys, you guys have been absolutely amazing. Especially hopping over to the live streams and stuff, being super supported over there on twitch.tv/ChosenArchitect. I really do appreciate it. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Guys, I will see you in the next episode. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit that like button. As always, guys, I'll see you